About the domain driven design pattern. So domain driven design pattern is a collection of principles and patterns that help developers to create elegant object systems. In this video we'll try to implement the concepts of domain driven design pattern in a demo project. I am Anand, passionate on Microsoft technologies and working as a senior software engineer. Let's take a case of an order management system where customers can place multiple orders through the system. So we are having customer and we are having product and category. A category can have multiple products and order details. So an order can have multiple order details. So this is the scenario, and we are trying to create a domain or modeling the domain first, and we'll try to have an entire structure. So here I'm going to create a new project, Visual Studio, new project, create a new project. So web API, just create a web API. So I'm going to select a different folder, example domain driven design pattern. So first I'm selecting this folder. Since it is API, sample app dot API. So I'm just giving the name as API. Create the application as solution. So okay, so I just created an API. This is going to be our API, application programming interface. So I'm not going to touch on this right now, so let it be there. I'm going to create, now let's focus on the domain modeling. I'm going to create a new project and selecting the class library, and I'm naming it as sample app dot domain. So okay, so we are having the project is created, and we are having 3 domains. First we are going to create customer, then next folder is for product, and the next folder is for orders. Okay, let's create a customer domain. So create a class, customer. Okay, the spelling is correct. Internal, make it as public. Customer, let's say customer name, string. I'm just marking it as name, that's it. And properties string, maybe we can make it we can capture email address also, and we need to have an ID that should be unique identifier for this, so I'm making it as ID. Okay, so not private. Okay, we need to mark it as private because since it is private, since it is a domain, so we are not allowing to create an object or modify an object with outside of this context. So this will be, we are marking it as key, name and address. Okay, this is done. Customers, and we are having products. Product is we need to add 2 domains, 2 classes on this. First is category. So category is public. Public is again having a category ID and a category name, so I am making it as private. Name, making it as private. This is the key, so primary key for this. Okay, now the second class, we need to add the second class for a product. Okay, public. Okay, here we are having product name. Okay, sorry, first add ID, that is a unique identifier. Property string, product name, maybe we can say product description, that's it. Okay, now we need to mark it as private. Second, in that all the domain objects, domain classes, this is required. Private, so we make sure that it is no object will be modified outside this context. So again we are adding the key, product name and description. Here since we are having multiple products, so multiple products for a category, so we need to add the category ID also. So for this we are going to check property, okay, in the category ID, okay, and we are going to mark it as foreign key. Foreign key, I'm just giving this name. For the time being I'm just giving this name so that it will be referenced. So this is done, product and product category is done. Now let's go to order. Create a class, order class, order. Let me verify if this is private. We need to add private here also. Okay, private, both are private. Okay, this order, public class order. Here again we in the ID, this is the primary key for this class or unique identifier. Private, let me mark it as key. Okay, now here since it is an here customer ID is required, so in the customer ID, that is going to be a foreign key. Let me add the foreign key here. Customer, okay, sorry, so customer ID which is going to refer to the customer. So here now customer ID, order created date, so we can mark it as, maybe we can mark it as order created date. Property, date, time, order placed, date, and maybe we can add one more column, one more property as status, order status. Okay, so here again we are going to mark it as private, and here also private. Okay, this is done, order customer. And here the second class is order details, class order details. Okay, Let me mark it as public. Okay, now the properties are id, that will be the unique key, I mean primary key. Let me add it as private. Okay, now here we are having what is order id. So since we are having multiple order details, so let me add order id property in the order id. Okay, so here I'm going to add the foreign key. Foreign key order. Okay, foreign key order id, and we are having product id. Okay, property in the product id, which is a reference of this product. So I'm marking it as a foreign key product id is there. Then maybe we can mark it as amount, total amount, or ordered quantity, product in ordered quantity. Now one more last property is amount. Okay, I'm marking it as in the price. Then we can mark it as price. Okay, private. In product we are having price, and in order details we are having order id, product id, order quantity, then total amount, then maybe, okay, that's enough. Maybe for now that's enough, and this modeling is done, I think. Private, we need to mark it as private. Okay, order, we are all properties are private, product also private, category also private. Okay, now this section is done. Now let's import the entity framework. Now we are going to add a new project. Again, it's class library. So sample app dot entity framework. I'm just naming it as entity framework core. Okay, create domain, and here we need to add some dependencies. So for that we are going to take tools, NuGet packages. So here we need to add some dependencies like entity framework core, entity framework SQL server, then entity framework core design and tools. So install, browse entity framework core. I'm selecting this entity framework, or I'm sorry, entity framework and sample project, because there also it is required. Install, accept. Okay, now entity framework tools, entity framework core SQL server. Install, design. I think we have done adding the required dependencies or packages. Now we need to have an connection, database connection, and for that we are going to open this API and app settings. We can define the connection string. Connection string, what is the connection? I'm just naming it as my connection string, and here I already copied the connection string, so I'm just using that connection string over here. So connection string, this is my local database, and one database I already created, that is order management. It is empty, I think. Yeah, no tables, nothing, so it's empty. So order management. Now let's take program.cs. There we are going to define the DB context. We need to define the DB context, but before that we need to create a DB context here. So add one more folder. This is data entity framework, okay. I'm adding a class database context. I'm marking it as public, and inheriting from DB context entity framework core. Okay, now we need to create a constructor here, public constructor. Here we need to define database context options, DB context options of database options. Okay, now go to program.cs, the service here, builder dot, we need to add the DB context here, services dot add DB context here, database. Okay, before that we need to add this entity framework core to this document dependencies. So I'm adding this as a project reference, entity framework core. Okay, I added the project dependencies over here. Now we need to add the DB context in program.cs, services dot add database, add DB context, database sample app context. Now program.cs. So for that open sample app API, then from there open the program.cs file, and let's add builder. Let's add the ILD builder dot services dot add db context. There we need to add database context. Then options. What are the options? We are having options dot you use SQL server, that is our use SQL server. From there we need to give the connection string. For that builder dot configuration, that is our configuration dot get connection string. Let's check what is the connection string I given in app settings. My connection string, let's copy. Then this is going to be our connection string. Okay, now db context is set and our domain is set and entity framework core is done. Now let's create a migration so that our db also will be set. Okay, okay, so for that we need to add the data set over here. So what are the data sets we are having? Public db set. First is customer. Okay, okay, for that before that we need to add this domain project in as a reference to entity framework core. So I'm just adding dependencies, add project reference domain. I'm selecting domain and click OK. Done. Okay, now customers will be ready. I mean the domains will be available over here. Oh, sorry, public db set customer customers. Now get set. Okay, one is done. Now we are having public db set. Next is category. Okay, product categories get set. Okay, now next one is order. We need to add order db set order orders. Now order details, public db set order details. Order details get set. Okay, so since we need to do some more changes. So in customers is okay. In categories product, I think we are missing product. Okay, categories now product. Public db set products get set. Okay, now let's go to domain and then let's open customer. So customer, we need to in product, since there is a category foreign key, so we need to add add the category for public virtual category get set. Now in category it will be the collection, so we are going to add public virtual I collection. Here product, it will be products. Okay, so that um, while fetching the records we can easily get the data details. So category products list of set. Here we are going to make it as private. Okay, the same thing we need to do in orders and order details. So customers will have multiple order details, so I'm marking it as public I collection, then order, this will be orders, it will be orders, get, it will be private set. Okay, why it is giving error, order dot. Okay, maybe so here it is done. Now order, here order status, and now we need to set here also. So orders will be we are having in orders we are having public virtual customer. Customers, okay, order and we are having a collection of order details. Public I collection order details get private set. Okay, in order details we are having public virtual order get set, making it as private again. Private, since it is foreign key, I am marking it as nullable. Maybe order quantity. While creating the database, if there is no data is there, then it will throw error. So for that case, I am making it as nullable. Category. Now for this customer ID, category orders, here order customer ID, I'm making it as nullable here also, and customers already tells. I think we need to have add product also since we are having product in the product details. Public virtual product private set. Okay. I think now it is done. We are having almost all the properties are ready. Now we are going to add the migration. So for that, open NuGet package manager console. I'm using package manager console for adding migration. From here I'm making the default or target project as a framework core. Now add migration. Add domains. I just given the name as migration name as add domains. Build failed. Why? Okay, let's okay, why? Entity framework app domain. Okay, done. Now there are based on I forgot to add a semicolon, that's why it's throw error. Now let's check. Let's try again. Add domains, add migration, add domains. So build succeeded. Okay, let's see. Okay, migration is added. If you can notice, a new folder is created, migrations, and migrations add domain. This is created with these commands. Categories, creatable categories, customers, products, then orders, order details. Okay, I think all the relationship, I mean foreign keys also done, created, and let's apply this into our database. Update. For that we are going to use update database. Trust server, so invalid value cure trust certificate. Okay, maybe this is the issue in the connection string. Let me check. Connection string trust server certificate, trust server. Or let me remove this. I think it is not required. Database order management system. multiple trace connection. Yes, done. So the database update is completed successfully. Let's check what happened to the database. So if you check the database, there is entity framework migration history is also there, and all the database or the tables is created. Category, let's check whether it is created as we expected. Products is having columns, okay, for primary key and category ID as the foreign key. Then orders, okay, customer ID as the foreign key, order ID, columns, order ID, product ID is the foreign key, okay, customers, okay, name, primary key, okay. I think it is came as expected. Now this is our modeling part, and the database creation is successfully completed. Now let's start creating the repositories and services. Then once the repositories and services are created, then we can directly access these repositories and services from the API. So let's start from the domain. So here we are having customer. So we are this is just a model. So now we need to add, or we are going to create some of the methods. So first one is, since it is aggregate domain, so these are the aggregate domains, so this object should not be created. So for that we are going to create a public constructor, private constructor. So ID is auto generated, so from here removing the ID. So apart from that, all it is just initializing the constructor. Collection, this one is also is not required. So all the property values, all the properties, name and customer name and email address should be created. Now this is the constructor. Now we are going to create a static method to create the object. So for that should be public customer create. Here again we are going to pass these parameters, okay, pass these parameters, and from here we are going to call the constructor, return new customer, new email address. Yeah, done. Okay, so it is having a create method, and we are going to update, we are going to add an update method. So for that, public update method should, okay, this create method should be static, because it has to be called directly, static without an object. So public. So next is update method. Update method has to be called from an object of this customer. So for that we need to add public customer update. Here again we are passing these parameters, customer name, email address. Here what we are going to do is pass name equal to name, email address equal to email address. Okay, so this we are having, we added two parameters. This should be what, because we will be updating these two. Okay, now the same thing we need to do for other classes also. Order, we are going to add an object, the constructor, private constructor, private order status. Okay, customer order status. Order status is done. Now since it is auto generated, this is also removing customer ID, order place date, and order status. Okay, now again we are going to create static method, public static create public static order. It is going to return order. Create. We are going to have these parameters, same parameters. So here return new order, customer ID, order place date, and order status. Return. Okay, this is spelling mistake. Return order status. Now we need to have an update method. For that won't be static, so that will be public void update. Here again, here we are going to set customer ID. Customer ID is equal to customer ID order placed date equal to order placed date parameter. Now the property order status equal to order status. Okay. Okay, why there is, okay, I think there is no error on this. Now let's take order details, also do the same. First the private constructor, private ID, we can remove ID thanks to intelligence amount order. We can remove these foreign key values. Okay, amount, can remove this also. Private constructor. Now a create method, public static create, public static order details create. Now get all the parameters from here and okay, order ID equal to order ID. Now product ID sorry, not this. Return. We cannot add. I thought it is an update method. We are going to you call the constructor here, order ID. Now product ID. Now order quantity. Now next is amount and new order details. Okay, and done. Yeah, next we need to add the update method, public void update. Sorry, we need to add the same, have the same parameter. Order id equal to order id. Now product id is equal to product id. Now ordered quantity equal to ordered quantity. Next is amount equal to amount. Okay. Now category, I think it's taking a bit time, but if I think this is a kind of structure, so let me focus on order category. I will these procedures are same for all the domains since it is having a common pattern, so that's why it is very easy to develop. So once the structure is ready, it will be easy to develop with all other team members. So let me complete one flow of this customer. So we are having customer, we are having create and update method. So for this customer, I created domains and entity framework. I think till database it is there. Now we need to create the service section. No, customer repository. So class, we need to add the repository. It should be an interface. Customer repository. Here we are going to define the basic functionalities like create task, create method, create async method, customer create get. First one is get async by id. Now next one is customer create async. So customer create async. Now we need to get the list, task, list of customer, get list async. So we are having get customer by id, create customer, and get list customer list async. So one interface is created. Now go to our entity framework. There we are going to add one more folder for customer. So here we are going to add the repository, class customer repository, customer repository. So here public I customer. Here we are going to implement that created interface I customer repository. Okay, we need to implement the method. Okay, repository here task and save async. Okay, one more method so that we can call the save method from outside. Implement this also. Okay, here we need to do the dependency injection based on of our DB context. So for that, private read only database context. Now customer repository, public customer repository. So database context dependency injection is done. Now the database object is available on this class. So first one is create async. Create async is we are having customer, so await db context dot customers dot add async customer. Okay, return customer. Now from the customer repository, we implemented, I mean we inherited the repository, I mean customer repository. From here we need to implement this customers. So db context database context dot products customers dot add async customer. So we need to make it as await customer, then return customer. So this is the implementation for create as customer, then get async. So here we are going to basically do a search. So here we are directly returning await database context dot customers dot where x dot id is equal to id dot first or default async. So here we may check whether the customer ID or the customer result of this customer is null or not. Based on that we can raise the error, customer error here. So for time being I'm just returning the customer object, get customer list. Here we are going to return all the customer list, customer details. So here return wait database context dot customers dot to list async dot as to list async as tracking to list async. Okay, here we are just simply returning the all list. Now save async here. Return database context dot set change async. We are returning this one. Now implementation of the repository is done. Now we are going to create a service and service contracts, so that we can call it from the API. So for that we are going to create a new project. For new project, again class library sample app dot maybe we can make it as services, sample app dot service dot contracts. So here we are going to create again one more folder called the customers. So for that customer. So here we need to create a DTO. So maybe you know what is DTO, right? DTO is database, data transfer object. So here I'm just adding DTO and it will be public DTO, and I'm just using the same fields because there is no special logic over here. Just now it will be the DTO customer object DTO. Then we are going to add a service class, interface, customer service. Here again public. We will be having normal methods like task, customer DTO, get async int id, first one. Next one is task in task customer DTO, save async customer DTO. Now this will be interface. Save, create, get list, task of list of customer DTO, get list async. Okay, now this is the contracts, and now we need to create one more project. We are going to create one more project for services. Add new project, sampler dot service. So here in service we are going to add dependency, add a project dependency, and project reference, service contract, and we may need domain, I think so. Okay, we'll see. So here again we are going to create a one more folder for customer service contract. Customer, then here we are going to create a class customer service, and public, and we are going to inherit the interface that we created. Customer service, again now we need to do the dependency injection over here so that our repository will be available here. So public, no, wait, before that we need to private read only as customer service. Now public customer service, okay, it is done. Now from here we are directly calling return we need to do the my IMapper private read only IMapper, maybe we need to create the extension, sorry, tools, NuGet package. We need to install the NuGet package for IMapper. In the customer service class, customer service. So for that we need to do the dependency injection for the customer service. So private read only customer repository, okay. Now private read only mapper, okay. Now to create a constructor public repository, okay. Create customer repository is done, repository and mapper is created. Now create async, this method we are going to implement. So for that we need to create first the customer object, then we need to pass that object to the repository create async method. So var customer is equal to customer dot create. We are having one static method, we are just passing the name customer DTO dot sorry, name customer DTO dot email address. So the object is created. Now we are going to pass this object. Wait, repository dot create async customer return customer. The customer is created now. Now here get async. I think here we need to use the mapper map dot map customer detail. It will automatically pass the customer object into customer domain object into customer detail, so it will be passed. Now create async. Get async. It will be like var model, maybe we can say response equal to await repository dot get async id return mapper dot map customer detail response. Okay, now here we are going to return the list. Response equal to await repository dot get list async now return mapper dot map list of customer detail response. So it is done. Now we need to call this method from our API. So here we are having controllers. We are going to create a new controller for customer. First we need to create a folder. Customer controller API controller empty. To create a customer get async and id. Okay, this is the first method. Return okay, I'm just passing. Okay, now we need to call the repository over here, the service. So for that private read only customer service okay, I think that project dependency needs to be added over here. Dependency at project reference customers contract. Okay, so customer service by customer service. Service, we are going to do public customer service. Dependency injection is done. Get a sync. Wait. Service dot get a sync ID. Okay. Response equal to okay. This will be the HTTP GET method. Get ID. Okay, now we need to create public task action result, create a sync, we need to add the DTOs, view model. Here we are going to create a new folder for view model. Here a class for customer view model, customer view model. Here we can give the same properties as DTOs. Maybe I just remove private. Okay, from here customer I'm using view model here. So here service dot create a sync customer DTO. So var customer DTO is equal to mapper. We need to add mapper also here. Private read only IMAP per mapper mapper is equal to mapper. So mapper dot map customer DTO of view model, customer DTO create response equal to customer radio return. Okay, response. Okay, here we can call it as post, http post create. Okay, now list public task action result get list. Sync or list is equal to await service dot get list async. Okay, of mapper dot map list. Yes, that's it. Done. So like this we can call from an API to till using services, and service will call the repository, and from there repository will call the entity frameworks, and through this the domains will be called. So once it is done executed, it will be directly saved into the database. Hope this video will be helpful for some of the person. If you have any suggestions or anything, please let me know. It's again a learning. Thank you very much for your time. I think it's a very lengthy video. I think thank you very much.